Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Wednesday. This is my decluttering week. If you missed the previous ones, I'll link them down below and stay tuned for more to come. This is the final bit of the makeup portion, and the rest of this week will be more like beauty things. We have skincare and then hair care and miscellaneous. So hopefully you have been enjoying these videos. I know the last one that you saw, which was my face one, there wasn't a ton that I got rid of just because I wanted to edit down a few things in my collection, but it was a way for you to see everything that I have. This video is going to be everything eye, so we have palettes over here and then other miscellaneous things over here. We're just going to dive into it. Similar to the other two, I'm really not focusing on numbers or how many I'm getting rid of. I just want to dwindle things down and get rid of things that just aren't working for me, or things that I ignore, things that I just don't use, things that will get lost when the gratis comes that I will be receiving within the next week. So that is why I'm doing this declutter series this week. I hope you have been enjoying them as I've mentioned, but let's just get started with these palettes here. Starting from the top, let's just turn them so you can see we have my Pan That palette for this year. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable palette in Fantasine, and I love it so much. I'm so happy I got this one, but I don't see myself purchasing another in the future. It's fun, they're beautiful, but it's such a hefty price tag, and with the size of it, it can easily get lost in my collection, which is why it's in my Pan That palette this year. So this guy I am going to keep. And then moving on to this guy here. This is the Aether Beauty Gemstone palette or Gem Crystal palette. It's a really cool concept where it's the first zero waste palette of its kind, where look at all those colors. I did do a whole video about this, and in that video it was just a really long learning curve to get these shadows to work. I just don't love this palette. Color-wise, there's too many colors that are the same. They're the same like weird dusty navy blue. And then we have some other more earth tones, but I have those in other formulas that are so much easier to work with. So this one, I'm gonna say goodbye to. It was an expensive palette. I'm kind of annoyed that I purchased it. It did do a video about it. I'll leave it down below if you're curious, but I just don't think it's worth the money whatsoever. Moving on to the Milani palettes, you guys know these are my favorites. We have Bold Obsessions, we have Soft and Sultry. I love these guys so much, so I'm keeping both. Then we have these two here. These are my two new babies. I will be featuring them in a future video. I'm so excited to have them. I loved Golden Hour when it was in my collection. These are the Viseart 9-pan palettes. So we have this one in Liaison, which is stunning. Look at all those purples. It's beautiful. And then we have this one in Tryst, and they are just been a great addition to my collection. I'm so happy I got them. Again, stay tuned for a video that is to come, but they are gorgeous and they are not disappointing whatsoever. So I am keeping both of these guys. This one is also newer to me. This is the Melt Impulsive palette. You've seen it a few times already on this channel, but it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love making looks with this. It's the only like true colorful palette that I have in my collection, and I'm so happy I picked it up. My only issue with it is that there's nothing separating the two sides. I'm always nervous putting them together, but it really hasn't made that much of an issue yet. And then moving on to this one here. This is all of my singles. So this side is the Pacifica eyeshadow palette, and then this one is a palette that I don't know. I had gotten it in like a makeup swap type of thing, and I ended up taking out colors, but then I forgot the palette that it was in. And I have these colors in other places, and then nothing about these colors are really calling out to me. So I'm going to keep the Z palette for future use, but I am going to get rid of all the singles. They just don't serve a purpose for me. I don't use it because I just don't know where these are from, so it's nothing I can like reference for you. And then these ones are just, they're mediocre, and I have colors similar in other things besides like this blue, but so this is going to be emptied out, but again, I am going to keep the Z palette, which I got on Etsy, by the way, if you're curious. Then this one is the new Classics, which is from e.l.f. Nothing wrong with this palette. It is gorgeous. I just don't need it. There's just a bunch of neutrals, which I have in other things. I much prefer using formulas that are a little bit easier to blend and a little bit more pigmented than this one. Again, nothing wrong with this one. It's just a little bit too muted for me, and I just prefer other formulas more. So that is why I'm getting rid of this guy. And this is everything else we have just miscellaneous pieces, some brow products, and mascara. So let's start off with mascara. So these are all little mini sizes that I probably got for 100 points or like a free gift or something like that. There's plenty in here. I am going to keep this one. It is almost done from Milk Cosmetic. It is their Kush mascara. And then let's just go through these guys because I don't really need all of them. And then the remaining mascaras are these guys here. So I am going to at least look at them because some of them I've had in this little tin for a while because I rotate through them quite often, but there's some that I've just been ignoring because I just don't care enough to use them. First off, you have Smashbox Superfan. Love, 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 love this mascara so much. So definitely keeping that for future use. I really don't care to use these. I like the Better Than Sex, but I only like it in the mini size and not more than other things. So I'm just going to part with these. I'm going to probably give them to my sisters when I go back to Maine. Now this Lights Camera Lashes one is perfectly fine. It's a beautiful mascara. It's just a basic mascara. And I think out of the two, I much prefer this one. Again, I'm not really worried about running out of mascara because that is something we often get in gratis. So I'm going to part with this one as well. I am going to keep this Moisture Big though because it is a beautiful volumizing mascara, and I am going to keep Urban Decay Perversion because I've used this one in the past and have really enjoyed it. So I am only keeping 3 backups. I don't need that many backups of mascara. This will still last me like half a year, so I should be perfectly fine. And then here is the remaining things in my eye collection. Not a huge bunch of stuff, as you can see. Now, first off, for brows, I am getting rid of one just for shade purposes, which is the CoverGirl one. When I purchased it, I got the wrong shade. This is in the shade Soft Brown. It's a little too dark for me. I got taupe the last time, so I am parting with this guy. I am keeping the number 2, though, from Benefits. They're Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is the one I've been using a lot recently. Shade-wise, it just works better for me, so I'm going to keep this guy. And then I do only have the one eyeshadow primer, so I'm going to keep it from Milani. It is fab. It's similar to the Smashbox one if you are interested in it. It's a third of the price. You can often find them like buy one get one half off, but you need a tiny bit. It is beautiful. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. You guys know I love this so much, so I am going to keep it. I have used it a lot, as you can see. So it's like one of my favorite products in my collection. And then I have these 2 singles here. Nothing wrong with these whatsoever. They just get lost in my collection. So first we have the Han Skincare Cosmetics. This is their single in the shade Charming. It's just a basic, everyday type of brown, but I have this color in like 3 different palettes. It's just not a color that is unique in my collection. I mean, when I travel, I normally just don't bring one, you know? So this one I am going to part with. I don't really care to take it out and put it in a Z palette by itself because I'll ignore it that way too. So this one I am going to part with. And then this guy here, this is from Essence. This is their Melted Chrome eyeshadow in the shade number 1. It applies beautifully, but it gets really just like textured throughout the day. As you can see, oh, it's a beautiful color, and I wish it just looked like this, but on my eyes, you're gonna see every little line and wrinkle when I use it, and it just doesn't look flattering. So I am going to part with this guy as well, but it's absolutely stunning. Maybe if you have more lid space where you don't have crinkly eyelids, I guess you would definitely love this. It's a beautiful color. It's just, I wish I could pull it off. These are the items I am keeping. I have the 1 brow pencil, the 1 single shadow by itself, the cream shadow, 1 primer, 3 backup mini mascaras, and then again, this is almost done. So I'm very happy with this small, very curated collection. And these are my much loved 6 eyeshadow palettes. I'm so happy with these. I love these. You guys know they've lasted through quite a few declutters. They are beautiful. Loving my new babies, these Viseart ones. I will share with you more about these in the future. Love my Marc Jacobs, and then this Impulsive one is just a beautiful, fun, vibrant, colorful palette. So very happy with my decision on this. And then this is everything that I'm getting rid of. I know it's not the, again, most drastic declutter, but these are just things I don't use. I don't use these palettes enough to keep. I always overlook them for other things. This one I don't like the formula of. This one is just something that is just boring to me. I don't use these at all, these single ones. I'd rather much prefer curating some true singles and not necessarily depotting palettes in the future. Those are all the things that I'm getting rid of. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Again, stay tuned for more of the decluttering videos to come, and that is it for today. Bye guys.